Daí galera, aqui é o Caco. O russo da Hora Hard sempre pediu para cobrir alguns eventos antes. O Groezrock não deu para fazer a cobertura, mas deu para fazer pro Punk Rock Holiday. É isso que a gente vai fazer. É uma brincadeira, não sou nenhum jornalista profissional, mas eu fiz alguns contatos e vamos ver se a gente consegue falar com algumas pessoas, mostrar como é que é esse evento. É a minha primeira vez aqui, eu já fui algumas vezes no Groezrock e eu tenho que admitir que esse evento aqui é speechless, né? É bem organizado, super bem organizado, infraestrutura animal e esse visual incrível. A gente veio aqui fazer um hiking nesse castelo. Eu vou mostrar daqui a pouquinho umas imagens. Eu faço uma edição mostrando um pouco. Mas a gente está bem no topo do castelo, que mostra bem o cenário. Lá embaixo é o festival. Lá está a parte do campsite. Um pouco mais atrás fica o que eles chamam do main stage, o palco principal, e atrás a parte ali do camping é onde fica o que eles chamam do beach stage. Na verdade não é uma praia, é um rio muito bonito, vou também estar mostrando depois. Mas o festival começou ontem, no dia 8. Não era nem para ter começado no dia 8, inicialmente era para começar hoje, no dia 9, na terça-feira de agosto, mas eles decidiram começar. Enfim, conseguiram mais bandas. Uma das bandas é a minha banda favorita, como muitos amigos meus sabem, o Useless ID, que infelizmente a gente acabou perdendo o show ontem. A gente chegou por algumas razões logísticas, acabamos atrasando para chegar aqui, mas super... Assim, fantástico a estrutura, o palco. Era um festival que eu esperava que ia ser menor que o Groezrock em termos de estrutura, mas eu fiquei boquiaberto porque sendo menor não significa que a estrutura era inferior. Eu até acho que a estrutura é mais organizada, não sei se dá para dizer isso, mas é muito, muito legal. A gente vai estar mostrando algumas coisas, como eu falei, vamos estar tentando entrevistar uma galera, para a galera curtir, para quem estava pensando, é uma função viajar do Brasil para vir para cá, para quem quiser, estiver considerando, alguns amigos já fizeram isso, o Chipa, o Arthur, não sei, já cruzei com gente do Brasil no Groezrock. Aqui eu não vi nenhum brasileiro ainda, se eu encontrar vou trocar uma ideia, enfim, mostrar o que é essa festa, mas realmente recomendaria muito ir para o Groezrock, conheçam o Groezrock, mas olha, para bater esse aqui vai ser complicado.
Yeah.
but I felt sorry for everyone in tents. It would have been
Oh,
horrible.
dude, I just did an interview with some cats. They were like, there was like 7 inches of fucking rain in our tent. I'm like, well, that's not a tent then. That's a fucking pool.
Yeah,
That's a kiddie
bad.
pool is what that is.
Check. Right. Galera, prazer aqui tá falando novamente do Punk Rock Holiday, but that's a little bit of Portuguese, and I believe you know some.
Sim, todo, pá.
Cool. Cool. Nuno just stopped by, and he was kind enough to accept us to have a quick chat. I'm sure he wants to go back to what he needs to do.
I ain't got shit. What time is it? This is Punk Rock Holiday, man.
Yes.
Got nothing to do.
5:30 now.
Maybe go watch some bands, maybe.
Então, galera, novamente, vou dar uma conversada aqui com ele. Vai ter legenda na tradução. E ele já falou com uma galera do Brasil. O Felipe, da produção lá de Balneário, acabou de conversar com eles. Cruzamos com eles aqui, mundo pequeno. Nuno, thank you so much for stopping by. I'll try not to focus on the, like I was just saying to them, on the Brazilian tours and questions, because you've just been asked that.
Okay. I can't wait, though.
Where are you based, though? So what is the, hopefully that's not one of the questions you've been asked, but where were you, what's the family relation to Portugal?
Meu pai vem de Portugal. Meu pai ainda mora lá, em Coimbra. But like they immigrated to America in the 70s, and then my sister and I were born American.
All right.
But
in Boston?
South of Boston. New Bedford is the largest Portuguese community.
Really?
Like one of the largest in North America.
We got some things in common. I used to live in Boston, so we will talk about that.
Yeah, now a lot of Brazilians were like coming through. And I grew up in a Portuguese household. I was an American kid, but at home I spoke Portuguese with my mother and father and my grandmothers and stuff like that.
They make sure to keep
always, yeah.
That's good.
Plus, I always wanted to know what they're talking about in case it was about me or something. You know what I mean? Doing something like that. No, it was very easy to learn because I was surrounded by it. I had to go to Catholic Mass in Portuguese, so it was very, very Portuguese,
That's good.
But it's good. It helped me out immensely. Now I can speak Spanish pretty well, and I pick up languages a lot easier because your brain starts to develop those connections. But where we're from in Massachusetts is a huge Portuguese population, so it was very easy to have immigrants come and get work either in the factories like my grandmother did or anywhere, just because there were people there who spoke Portuguese and it made it very easy to assimilate, I think.
Excellent. Like I said to you, back in 2000, my band, No Direction, from which now everyone makes fun of the name. Back in '95, those guys weren't even born, but that's
right. Yeah, I know, right?
But I've arrived in '99 in Boston. That's like my second home. Miss the Middle East. And those places. They're lovely.
It's a great city.
Yeah,
I agree.
We've been there last year, didn't we? And then all the venues they changed the name.
They are, a few of them.
It's not Avalon anymore.
No. Axis and Avalon got demolished, and they built the House of Blues on top.
Wow.
My wife used to work at Axis and Avalon. She was so sad. Her and all her friends. Well, they weren't working. She wasn't working there when they tore it down, but she was still sad to see it go because it was
Isn't
there.
It? There was like a few venues, one after the other. It was Axis,
Avalon, Bill's Bar.
Yeah.
And then there was a place on the corner that always changed to Jillian's or some other place.
Yeah.
But that was more of like a bar, bowling, pool place or whatever. But
how's the scene? I mean, maybe trying to focus on Boston. I mean,
Boston's
I think the
wonderful.
first time I heard about you guys, I didn't know you guys were Boston-based. Once I found out, I was like, "Oh, that's wicked!" I got that the Celtic, Celtics T-shirt.
Right.
Yeah, it's wicked.
Yeah, we're very much Massachusetts-based. I mean, we now have 2 members. We're actually kind of international now. We have 2 members who aren't from Massachusetts. Our guitar player Michael, who is from Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, and our bass player Brian, who's from Toronto, Canada, just outside Toronto, Canada.
Cool.
But
that explains the friendship with the Flatliners a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We did like one of we brought them on tour when they were before they had pubic hair, I think. It was amazing.
They're watching this.
I hope they are too. I think now they might have pubic hair.
Right.
Maybe.
We'll check that tomorrow.
Ask Chris. You'll have to ask when you interview Chris. Ask him if he's got his pubes yet. Just kidding.
Probably gonna walk away.
Those guys are amazing dudes. But we became friends with Brian by touring with his band when we were smacking Isaiah, and we did a tour in Canada, and we met him and his buddies. And back then, it was still very easy to I don't know. I think the internet was just starting to really pop off for a lot of bands, and it helped us kind of meet some people, but it also, it was before it got completely blown out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So we established some really, real good friendships that have lasted now 10 plus years,
And, man, I got to give you guys some, like a massive credit for one thing. You know how the whole you got the generation of punk music that you got the booms, right?
Right,
you got the first one,
certainly,
and then you got the early 80s,
certainly.
late 70s, and then the famous 90s one.
Right.
And I think you guys came up on the toughest one, which is like the after the 90s one, the pressure, the bands from the 2000s, and how you guys managed to
I think
to
if you
strive.
don't I think if you take your time and don't deviate from what you set out to do originally, I think if you're honest with yourself, through your music and with your fans, that's how you can do this forever if you want. You know what I mean? Like, or you can, change your style every couple years.
That's it.
Do this, do that, and just try to chase after that, But then you're not being honest. And I think you start to alienate older fans, you know what I mean? And the newer fans kind of see through that shit too, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what we did, it was just kind of kept going. We had this, it was pretty fun. We recorded a couple records with Bill Stevenson and Jason Livermore at Blasting Room, and Bill always had like a thing. He was like, I don't get you. He loves us, but he's like, it's so crazy. He's like, we came up with this thing. It was like our band motto is avoid success.
All right.
Like, avoid success. Like, what do you guys do? Why are you doing this? It's like, hey, we're just doing it because this is what we do, and it's honest, and it comes across as pure, and people see that. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't feel right on stage in, skin tight jeans and eyeliner. Yeah. I might look really good.
Yeah, and all due respect to
I might look fantastic in that stuff.
Well,
I don't know. I wouldn't know. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that we've ever had a moment in our lives as musicians, as friends, where we've gone, you know what we need to do? Change up our style. We got to go get that demographic. We need that group of people to like our music.
Exactly.
We don't give a fuck who likes our music. We're gonna make it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it sounds. I totally understand.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a band background. And
it's a lot easier to stay humble and honest than it is to change up your style and your message and your you know what I mean. And it just makes more sense to me. It's more fun this way.
And I mean, sorry to compare with different interviews and different.
Of course, don't worry about that.
But I heard one of the interviews you were saying earlier, Lagwagon. So it might be quite appropriate to not compare the music, but the sort of maybe the initial background. I've heard one of Joey's interview. He said how initially they thought, and they still think, that they're a metal band, right? It's funny how he said that people on this sort of community, they embrace them, and fair enough. Was there a moment that you guys thought that you were actually thinking of fitting in one scene, but
no, we never fit in really anywhere.
Yeah.
We never fit in anywhere. I think that's what was rad. When we started playing music, we had to play shows in New Bedford, our hometown. There would be like surf rock bands, grindcore bands, 3-chord punk bands. Us, you're like, what the fuck is that? It's a hardcore. It's like not really hardcore. But I mean, I think we were never too afraid of being metal. Like we just kind of. But I mean, there was some. As the band kind of developed our sound, we obviously have double guitars. We fucking love Iron Maiden, and we love Lagwagon, and all in like Strung Out, and all these bands. They could be punk and fucking wail. You know what I mean? Why should you have to be the guy in the jean jacket and the denim and the kind of brooding, pissed off punker?
Exactly.
When you can fucking wail and fucking go crazy. You know what I mean? I think bands like RKL kind of set that up,
didn't they?
You know what I mean?
It's
like
crazy.
RKL was like thrash, which I listened to a lot growing up. I loved Anthrax and DRI and bands like that, and even early Metallica. Yeah, it wasn't metal really. It wasn't like the metal that you consider metal. It was punk. It was thrash.
Exactly. Yeah,
I like that. I think that's kind of what we kind of fall into, and I think that's what Lagwagon was doing too. And they're like, wait a second, no, we're not a punk band. We're like a metal thrash band.
Yeah,
But
and I was really
melodies, the melodies, you know.
Yeah, and it's not about exactly for me if it doesn't have
Melody.
That's my limit. That's
Me
where
too.
I
Me
set
too.
the line.
Me too.
I think. I mean, and talking about my second hometown, certainly your hometown. For me, I think Converge is my limit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah,
right there, yeah.
Yeah, because they still is sometimes
The last record was phenomenal.
Yeah,
like that was like super good.
yeah, and that's the thing for me. If it doesn't have melody, if you cannot identify a melody,
Right.
Another thing I remember, I used to again back in 2000, we used to with this previous band that I mentioned, we used to rent a space from another band called Daltonic. I'm not sure if
I know Daltonic.
Yeah.
I know them really well.
Scott Daltonic,
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
I think the band they don't exist anymore. But
I still see some of those guys from
Really?
time to time.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
absolutely. Yeah, Daltonic rules, man. Big up.
Jeremy, if you're watching this,
Yeah, oi.
big shout.
New Bedford in the house.
Cool. Yeah, I remember they say that the scene started. Maybe it was the area, wasn't it?
Yeah,
South Massachusetts. I
yeah.
can't
New
remember.
Bedford,
It was-
Massachusetts used to have a 3-day fest back in the early '90s. Everybody played it, dude. Everybody. I mean, you name a good hardcore, post-hardcore punk band from the early '90s. They were in New Bedford every year for this festival. Unfortunately, the festival died away, went away. But for a few years in the early '90s, man, Texas is the reason. You name a band, just name a band. They were there,
really strong.
in a little tiny city.
Yeah.
In southeastern Massachusetts,
That's wicked.
But that was great for us too, because it gave us we need to do some shows like this too. We need to set up these shows, and so we did.
Awesome. Nuno, just a final question, just to let you go.
Sure.
You need to enjoy this festival as well,
Certainly.
just like us, humans. I think just to talk about my first impression of seeing you guys live, I can't remember where it was. Was it Reading? At the, or Groezrock, probably Groezrock.
Groezrock.
And I think one of the first impression I seen of yourself as I'm not just saying just because you're here next to me. This guy is like a stage presence is incredible. If you're watching this, you've never seen A Wilhelm Scream live, you gotta watch it. Is there some sort of Mike Muir influence?
No, I think.
Have you ever got
Mike
that
Muir's
kind
the
of-
fucking man, though. Straight up. No, dude, Mike Muir's the man, dude. I can't execute on that level, but dude, I think guys like Mike or me or you look at Strike Anywhere, you know what I mean? Thomas is a madman. He just has that that joy, that power, that energy that punk rock produces, and I was like that in the pit when I was going to shows. So why shouldn't I carry that over into my show? While I'm on stage, I want people to know that I'm having the time of my fucking life. You know what I'm saying? So by moving around, I get it all out of me. It's a complete, catharsis. I get it all out, every night. I'm very lucky to do so. And some days it's harder than others. I'm fucking 37 years old, I think, or 38. I don't even know how old I am anymore. But, now I wake up and I'm like, oh, my knees, fuck. Pop a few Motrin and then just get to it. You know what I'm saying? But in the moment, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just feeding off the energy. Our crowd's so good. Our fans are so good to us. And they always sing along. They're always moving. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to stand still. You know what I mean? Just in general. So especially when I see shit going down, I'm just like, yeah, this is the best. I get excited just thinking about it.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
That's
Mike Muir's the man.
He's good, right? He's good.
I don't want to go on the internet like, yo, Nuno says he's better than Mike Muir. Then Mike Muir comes and fucking pounds me into the ground like a railroad spike.
Yeah, he's a tough guy.
No shit. Yeah, Mike Muir's the man. Big up Suicidal.
Man, I was, just a big shout out to my best friend. Why am I speaking Portuguese? João Brodinho, estás aí na Austrália. He's from Espinho.
Oh, yeah. O que ele está fazendo lá?
Tá vivendo, living the dream.
Yeah, no doubt. Australia's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah. So, João, abração pra ti. Estamos aqui falando com outro Portuga. Tá? Abração, galera. Tem mais entrevista mais com quem a gente cruzar. You ready for some, perhaps, wet show?
Hell yes, dude. Oh, yeah. Rain's not stopping this, dude.
Hopefully it's going to
Rain's
be
not
like
stopping this. Not stopping me, that's for sure, dude. I'm ready to put my bathing suit on and go for a swim, dude. What's up? Let's do this thing.
Let's do this. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
That
Man.
was awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hi Keith, thanks for stopping by and having a little quick chat as promised. Just a quick one, just how to see how excited you are to do the punk rock holiday.
Well, this one's interesting because a lot of these places in Europe I'm not familiar with. I played Slovenia before with Off, and that was fun. I think we played out at an airport.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
Or maybe that was Slovakia. One of
Sure. Sure.
One of these Central European countries. What I like about this place, and I love the history of this building.
Yeah.
Which is Slovenian mafia, fuck palace, whorehouse, casino, movie theater, bowling alley. And if you go inside where we're set up, it's really like something out of a nightmare, like red and blue and yellow coconuts on a tree that's magenta and turquoise and like a really bad nightmare. Yeah.
Sure.
And the carpeting is fucking hideous.
You guys based in this building here?
Well, we're actually somewhere at the back of the building.
Right.
Yeah.
We spent some day, just a short on this, the curiosity of the area.
Well, the area is beautiful. Yeah.
We just went to the castle on the top of the hill and found out that this is actually a ditch from the First World War, like from Germans. It's crazy. It's just beautiful. But again, just keeping the promise that we'll keep this short. I've seen you quite a few times with various bands, and it quite got my attention when I saw you in Brighton at the Haunt with Off and Groezrock. What is your perception and what is your feeling with stage diving?
We have no problem with stage diving. The problem that some of the stage divers create is that they get up there and they want to put on some kind of a show.
Yes.
And we're not interested in that because we're here to play music. Sure. Don't get in our way. Don't knock us around. Don't grab our guitars. I mean, we've actually had people do stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The rule is, and it's a 3-second rule. It's the same thing that applies to your food. If it falls off of your plate and it's on the ground, you have 3 seconds to pick that up before you don't get to eat it.
Yeah.
Before time expires.
Exactly.
So it's get up and, if you're going to get up there and jump off. Don't make a big scene out of it.
Sure. Gotcha.
Because you're not really impressing anybody. I mean, your parents aren't here. Mom and dad aren't sitting at the back going, "Oh, that's our son and we're so proud of him." That's not going to happen.
Gotcha. And I could tell that there was a bit of it's a hard one, isn't it? Because you can... with the guys, they always want a little bit of a piece. They love you, they adore you, they love the music, they love the scene, but it can interact and it can be a little bit on a way and effective in the...
Well, my advice to those people is that they should just start their own band. Just go out and start your own bands.
Exactly. As this is precisely dedicated to the Brazilian crowd, is there anything or any insight for upcoming tour ideas coming on for South America?
Our North American and South American booking agent just basically fields offers. Mm-hmm. In order to go to South America, usually you have to be dealing with about 3 or 4 different promoters. Mm-hmm. So it's up to them to kind of figure out, where we fly into, Santiago, Chile, then over to Argentina, in the venues, et cetera, et cetera. We're also working on trying to go to Australia. If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, there are reasons for it not happening.
I see. Gotcha.
And there's another thing that's going on in our world events, and just all of the different things that are happening around the world. People really don't like Americans because of what our government and what our military has done. And all of the banking and South American, Central American economies that have collapsed have all collapsed not because they did something wrong, but because our government and our banking people decided that we don't like you, or you're not following our orders, and you're not doing what we're telling you. So not only will we kill your president, but we'll come in and we'll take all of your oil, and it belongs to us and it doesn't belong to you. And it's so consequently, for an American to go to South America, you don't just purchase tickets to fly down there.
Sure.
You've got to, like when you're dealing with the Brazilian government, they normally keep your passport for a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just
the,
like
the
normal.
consulate in Los Angeles. Yeah.
That sucks.
Anywhere, depending upon however they want to proceed through it. Could be 2 days, could be a day, could be a week.
I see. Oh, wow. So
Chile's the same way.
Well,
I'm sure Ecuador is now.
It's quite difficult to do the tours, down there, as we all know, and you got to be safe. You got to be on a sort of, safe zone. Know the guys, know the contacts, contact the bands.
Well, we have
friends,
liaisons, and the promoters know where to go and where not to go. And you have the Olympics happening down in Brazil right now, and it's like all of the footage that I've seen is people are very unhappy that the Brazilian government spent all of the money that they did to put on this big event and not spend the money on the people that really need it.
Well, it's a bit of a tricky one. Yeah, I'm based in England, and the BBC, the way they cover, I can tell the way they cover the Olympics is obviously. It sells better to show the bad aspects, the reaction from the crowd. I personally think right now, from what I've seen, from what I heard from back home, is that the people back in Rio, and I think in general they decided, we're not happy. I think that was a bad decision. That was a bad call, but let's embrace it right now and let's do it.